Hey guys, welcome back to Salvage Yard Stories. Today I'm meeting with my friend Matt White. We're going to try to inform you a little bit on a different type of transportation than you probably drive right now. Hey Matt, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, just a normal everyday guy. Work 9 to 5 and come home, sleep, do it again.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, a couple of years ago, if I don't recall correctly, you can help me. A couple of years ago, didn't you drive something that was really bad on gas?
Yeah, you could say that.
No.
Was a 93 Chevy Blazer S10 with a Tahoe package.
So the Tahoe package means that just about every option that would have weighed it down even more.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. And what were you getting for fuel mileage? In Pella, where we live, we're about 40 minutes away from Des Moines. What kind of mileage were you getting from Pella to Des Moines?
Maybe on a good day, 18.
18. All right. Can you let everybody know, where do you work?
It's a place called American Wood Fibers.
Okay, and it's how far from your house?
About 2.5, maybe 3 miles.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm bringing up the fact that he had this Blazer that got such terrible gas mileage is we're going to talk about the vehicle that he has now. Now, in between these two, Matt drove a Chrysler Sebring or Stratus?
Dodge Stratus.
Dodge Stratus. Yeah, it was a pretty big piece of crap. And then you had a base model Corolla,
Yeah.
and that was a pretty good car. That's what led you to want to drive a Toyota.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you let everybody know what it is that you just purchased last year?
Picked up a 2023 Toyota Corolla Hybrid.
Really, and you like it?
Yes.
No regrets?
Nope, none at all.
All right, so being that it's a hybrid, that means that it is both electric and gas powered?
Yes.
Okay, how long do you find yourself in your EV mode?
And EV mode, it all depends on the type of driving that you are doing, whether it's in town, whether it's on the interstate, uphill, downhill, going into a wind, having a tailwind, all sorts of things. But on if I got a 20 to a 30 mile, drive, constant, 65-70% of the time I'm in EV.
So, since you only work 3 miles from your house, how much of the time between you leave your door till you get to work are you in EV mode?
Most of the time I'm in EV mode. There's been times where I've made it all the way to work, all the way back home, and not used a single drop of fuel.
Wow, that's incredible, especially today with the way fuel costs are and the unpredictability of fuel costs. I understand that you went to visit your father twice and he lives in Branson.
Yes.
And what was your max MPG on the highway?
Probably somewhere in mid-high 60s.
Seems like the hybrids pay for themselves pretty quick.
Yes, and that's why I decided to get the hybrid over the traditional gas-powered internal combustion.
Had you looked at buying a pre-owned hybrid before you bought this one?
Yes, I did, but with the pandemic, the last couple of years, used car prices went through the roof. I was offered a 22 Corolla hybrid with, I think it was about 25,000 miles for about $1,200 cheaper. So I figured, might as well pay.
Wow, that's a no-brainer.
$1,200, get the whole warranty.
Yeah, the car market has gone absolutely ridiculous. So I guess that now you have over how many miles on the car?
The total right now, I believe, is like 10,500, 10,600, somewhere around
All
there.
right, and in the services that you've had done in Toyota of Des Moines, what have they done so far?
The 5,000 mile service was a tire rotation, and I went ahead and paid for a early oil change because I believe that motor oil is cheaper than a new engine.
That is so true.
Toyota does recommend or require oil change at either 10,000 miles or 1 year. So when I took it in for the 10,000 mile change, 10,000 mile service, they did the oil change free of charge with that, and another tire rotation, multi-point inspection.
Well, now that you work at American Wood Fiber, probably a lot of sawdust. What filters did you need to have looked at?
The filters that they caught in the multi-point or the cabin air filter, which is usually located behind the glove box. That came back fine, didn't need changed. There's also, and it's very important, a filter for the fan that keeps the high voltage battery cool. You do not want to get that clogged up, because if it gets clogged up and that fan runs hot and it doesn't cool off that battery, you're looking at replacing your high voltage battery, and that is a large cost.
Is there anything that's in the last year popped up that you found to be a negative?
Just one time I went to Branson, and this is more has to do with the Toyota safety suite in their vehicles. The adaptive cruise control, the lane assist, all that good kind of stuff is controlled by the basically like a radar sensor that's underneath the front emblem. I was driving, it was raining pretty good, stuck behind a semi. What had happened was that emblem had gotten dirty. It cut out the lane assist, it cut out the cruise control. I still had, total pedal control, could still drive, everything like that. Stopped when I got to the next town, looked in the owner's manual and said, clear off your radar sensor located underneath the front Toyota emblem. And I took a napkin, cleaned it off, and it was good the rest of the way.
All right. Well, if that's the only problem you've had so far, then I guess this thing is a Toyota for real. Toyota reliability is not a joke.
Exactly.
Most people have an idea that the time that a hybrid becomes a real problem is when it's really brutally cold. And we did have a span of time here this winter in Iowa where there was some obnoxious cold weather. Did that show itself at all?
No, car started up, no problem.
No problems at all?
No problems. Most of the time, when you're looking at, more so the electric cars like the Teslas, your full electric vehicles from whatever manufacturer, those can have problems, as you saw if you watched the news during that cold snap. But with the gas-powered hybrid with the battery technology, they'll go back and forth, and it may start up in gas mode, but that don't mean it's necessarily going to stay in gas mode.
Right. Now, when you look, it's a little funny thing that Matt and I know. When you're looking at a Toyota today, in the last 10 years maybe, how do you know if that Toyota is a hybrid?
One of the dead giveaways is the background color on the emblem will be blue.
Blue.
Instead of silver, I believe is their normal color.
Okay, when your hybrid is in EV mode, how does your hybrid protect those people who are visually impaired?
Easy. There is a, I wouldn't call it an alarm, more of a kind of a droning sound. Sounds like a spaceship.
Right.
Pretty much what kind of like a UFO.
Did it take a while to get used to that?
It does take a while to get used to it, but once you realize that it's there, it doesn't bother you anymore. That is usually anywhere from 1 mile an hour. I think that finally cuts out around 23 miles an hour, 24 miles an hour.
After the Dodge, and then after the base model Corolla, which you've gotten up to about 250,000 miles, must be nice to have a vehicle that you don't have to go and rent something to drive to see your father. You can actually drive your own car.
Yeah, it's very nice, and people ask if that long of a drive is difficult in that vehicle, and the seats are comfortable.
Right. I'll tell you one thing I know about this car from last summer is that probably more than any car I've ever been in, the air conditioning in Matt's car is insane. That is for sure.
Yeah, it'll freeze you out.
It'll freeze you out. All right. Well, at the end of this, I'd like to ask you two questions.
Okay.
Number one, What was the worst car that you can remember that you've ever owned?
Oh, that Dodge Stratus.
Really, and why was that?
Oh, it was a hunk of junk.
A little rusty, was it?
A little rusty. It had no rocker panels. Blew out a ball joint. CV axle. lot of problems with that car.
Okay. Now, if you were at a local car show and you had a choice of a classic car, money's no object, what would you buy?
69 Chevelle.
Color?
Either black with the red stripes or red with black stripes.
Motor?
As big as you can get.
454, baby. That's right. See, even people who drive EVs have a dream of driving something that gets worse gas mileage than an S10 Blazer. All right, guys. Well, that's Salvage Yard Stories for today. See you later.